once in a while, we get a sneaking suspicion that we're being followed, or that someone is talking about us, or perhaps a friend or family member who you care about is being mistreated by someone they may be in a relationship with. And I say sneaking suspicion because it's a feeling that creeps up on you. Well, what is that exactly? I mean, what is that feeling you have deep down, just knowing that something is going on? Well, let's look into some possibilities of what's going on there. But before we do, I just wanted to take the time to thank you all to our channel, Metaphysical Awakening. We put a lot of time and care into our work, and we hope you enjoy the information that we present to you. We ourselves are learning along the way in regards to putting together the website, which you will see I'm certainly no expert in, and working on, working to improve the way we present the information so that it's more palatable. In fact, there's some information I reluctantly disregarded because in some cases can be quite tricky to explain. So I do my best to simplify the information so that you have a basic understanding of what our experiences have been like and what we've learned so far. Of course, you're going to get most of the information here on this channel. The website is more like a place for us to meet, in case anyone is interested in our consultation services, which we offer on our consultation page, and also for those very much interested in stones. You can always stop by our stone energy page right on our website to have a look at the metaphysical properties. Bookmark it if you want to. There's plenty of information there for you. I actually have in mind to work on a page describing what's behind each auric expression you see when you look at a person's energy. Each color or mixture of colors signifies something in regards to the person's characteristics. They are a representation of the person's energy, which includes, their characteristics. So if you see colors on a daily basis, and some people actually do without even truly recognizing that, well, you're basically seeing their foremost energy frequencies that are put out there, showing you how the person feels right there and then, or perhaps seeing their main characteristics in regards to their personality. So I've done a few videos in regards to a few colors, so you can go there to understand what I'm talking about. It's all energy, folks, all energy, not complicated at all. So try not to look at it as if it's foreign to you. It's actually part of all creation. It's a part of all of us. So enjoy what you see. That's metaphysical. So that's an upcoming project that I'll be working on soon, and I hope to complete it by May, if not earlier. We'll see. Well, now moving on to what it is that you feel within during those moments you have this sneaking suspicion about something or someone. There are moments in our life when we worry about someone or a situation, and we don't know why. However, it stays with us for whatever reason. So why is that? Perhaps it's because we're connected in some way, or perhaps we had a dream about them and we can't seem to get rid of it out of our mind. Or perhaps we feel that they're with the wrong person, and that creates some concern about, about them and their situation. Or better yet, perhaps this person is angry about something and it seems to consume them beyond reason, and we feel that something bad is going to happen. All of these situations, have happened to most of us at some point in our life, and we tend to ignore the rationalization of the fear or the worry we carry. Why is that? What I mean by that is, why do we have the tendency to wave it aside as if that thought or feeling is irrational? So we tell ourselves not to get carried away with it. However, for some, they do hold on to it endlessly with no resolution, and they carry it with no end in sight in regards to, letting it go. You see, we all handle it in different ways. But back to the point, what is it that's within us to make us feel that way? Well, I find that there are multiple cases going on when this happens. So let's look into each one, and perhaps you can relate to them based on your own experiences that have taken place in your life. So let's start with dreams. There may have been dreams which you had where someone you know and love seems to be sad or going through some sort of hardship, or perhaps you see a hardship coming their way and you try to warn them of it in your dream, but they wouldn't listen to you even though you were very earnest with them. So what do you do when you have dreams like these? Do you call them to talk about it, or do you wave it aside as if it were nothing? It was just a weird dream. It's difficult to know what to do because some dreams don't make sense, right? How do you know which dreams are true and which are not, especially when most dreams seem senseless in a way? Well, I'd advise you to take the time that day to sit and relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Do what you need to do to calm the mind down. Calming the mind and body is essential to having an open communication with anyone on the other side, especially with your spirit guides. So make it a habit when setting aside time to commune or communicate with them. Now, the next thing to do, once you've calmed your mind and body, reach out and communicate with your spirit guides and or loved ones. Why loved ones? Well, because they're your loved ones. They love you. They're the ones you trust the most above all others who cling on to you. Yes, well, one of the secrets I'm going to tell you is that there are many, many, and many spirits out there, good and bad, and everything in between. Does that make it seem like you're in danger? No, of course not. I'm just letting you know that because this may break some hearts for those who imagine that they're all good and benevolent. As much as there is diversity on this single planet alone, in regards to human beings and animals, there's just as much, if not more, on the other side. So don't be surprised when you feel a negative entity or spirit around you. They exist too. Now moving on, remember to speak to those who love you, including your spirit guides, of course. And I'll go deeper into the role of spirit guides in a future video, because you may be wondering about the differences in their roles compared to your loved ones, for example. Now, when you link with or contact your loved ones or spirit guides, feel into their description of what your dream was about. And I say description because a lot of times they use images and feelings to explain it to you. Some may receive more than that, but for now I'm going to explain what the majority may receive at the beginning of their journey. And to be honest, it's not all butterflies and roses when you start. It can be frustrating at times. It's like learning something new that's been out of your reach for a long time, and you're trying to learn it again with many complications going on in your daily life. As a child, it's easygoing and smooth, but as an adult, it's a lot rougher, and at times you want to give up, but don't. Keep going. Well, you will notice, or perhaps some have already noticed, that I have made some videos simply talking about doing things that make you happy, feel satisfied, doing activities to calm the mind, like meditation, Tai Chi, and such. And the reason for this is because these things can help us get on the path of wellness for the mind, spirit, and body. They provide a way for us to be grounded for the most part in much of our day-to-day life. When you find peace in some sense and are able to maintain it for a longer and longer period of time, you'll find that it's easier to stay in tune with spirits around you. to know what's needed to be known when the time comes for you to know it, and much more. Implementing these things into your life puts you in the right state of mind, which allows you to be more in tune with what's all around you. Energy, energy coming from everywhere. People, plants, trees, birds, cats, dogs, every sentient being and non-sentient beings, such as stones that give off the Earth's energy frequencies, who is sentient. Even the sun gives us a large amount of energy needed in our daily life. So being in tune is essential to our existence and body. It allows us to open up to the knowledge we're not aware of, and makes our life more pleasing having access to that knowledge. It essentially opens up our mind. Okay, so when feeling into their description of your dream, know that it's tricky at times to interpret it, but be patient with yourself and allow your heart to take in the feelings and emotions behind those descriptions. Now, will you have it down accurately your first, second, or even third time? No, perhaps not, but that's okay and that's normal. What you'll find is that you'll get the gist of it, and that's a good start. Now, depending on what you pick up, you can decide what to do with that message. It's ultimately up to you. If you feel a sense of urgency behind it, contact your friend and spark up a conversation surrounding the main theme of that dream and see where it goes from there. They may just need someone to open up to, and you never know what kind of decision they will make afterwards. That's totally up to them. But at least they had someone they were consoled by. Now, for those that can't make out what they had dreamt about, don't worry. It doesn't hurt to strike up a conversation with that friend. Perhaps that was all that's needed. Now, where do those dreams come from anyway? Who gave you those dreams? Well, most likely your loved ones on the other side, or your guides who know you care about this person, or perhaps they wanted you to be aware of that, aware of a situation that's coming or that's happening. They could have also been those who are around that individual person, their guides, their loved ones, who wanted to encourage you to contact that individual because they know you're the right person for them to talk to. You see, the network of people in spirit form around each and every one of us is no different really from what's going on here in our life. When someone is ill, you may hear about it from a mutual friend or colleague, and so you contact them and bring them soup to give them some sort of comfort. Well, let's move on to another way of getting a message that gives you that feeling of a sneaking suspicion because of the way it just sneaks up on you. Okay, so how about this moment when you're just doing whatever, and poof, you start thinking about someone and you create a scenario surrounding that person which causes some kind of concern. Well, whether you know it or not, this is actually an example of a metaphysical activity taking place. You think you are creating this from your imagination, but it's actually a message you're receiving from someone around you. They're giving you a storyline of a situation, essentially. You may take over by inserting memories here and there, and then it becomes a mess at times. But if you actually allow yourself to switch off for a moment, meaning, allowing your mind to clear and not allow any thoughts or memories to intervene, you can watch or listen to the message, the way it is or the way it should be, so as to not receive a diluted one, with your thoughts in the mix. Well, anyway, that's an example of receiving that feeling, which you may think it just came from nowhere. Spirits interact with us on a daily basis, and most of us are not aware of the acute interaction that takes place between humans and spirits. And I say acute because it's sharp in the way that it's quick and easy. They drop an idea in your head and you cling to it, and let it linger there for a little while till you take action in some way or form. It's so quick that you don't even realize the fact that it came from outside of you, not from within. Okay, so let's move on to one more example. How about this one? Perhaps one day you're driving and you swear you saw an armadillo, but it turned out to be, I don't know, a raccoon alongside the road. As you pass by the animal, you can't believe that you were completely off. Well, just know that your first guess, or whatever you swore you saw, was most likely a message. For centuries, perhaps since the beginning, animals were well respected by many indigenous tribes. Why? Well, because they were food. They knew they needed to eat animals along with plants and herbs to sustain themselves. They learned from animals in many different ways. How many of you yourself observed an animal and were amazed about their behavior, amazed at how intelligent they are, amazed at how they take care of each other, amazed at how unique they are and how skillful they are, whether as predator or prey, who found ways to survive the wild. There are many unique traits displayed by animals, and they are the reason why we have learned to survive in many ways. People have watched and observed them for centuries and picked up many things from them, and of course formed a relationship with many of them. The same for indigenous tribes, who not only fought them and hunted them, but respected them for their ingenious methods of surviving. There was a deeper connection between the indigenous tribes in those times and animals than there are now among our current population, I believe. But going back to the significance of what message you may be receiving from an animal that you see alongside the road is what people in those times used to pay close attention to. For them, animals gave them messages such as where to move to, where to hunt, where to avoid, what not to eat, where to go to from here in the sense of what movement is necessary for the tribe to continue surviving. You see, these messages were important to their day-to-day living. They didn't carry tarot cards, which are available to us online, phone apps, Amazon, tarot shops, etc. No, they used nature and animals to help guide them. Now, what does this have to do with, a sneak and suspicion you feel inside? Well, perhaps the animal you had sworn you saw created a feeling within that prompted an idea or thought related to a person or situation. You see, spirits will use different techniques to get us thinking one way or another. It's up to us to calmly take the time to observe that message and decide what to do with it. So let's look at the possibility or possible meaning of an armadillo, which is, what you swore you saw. An armadillo could possibly mean that a friend or family member is in protective mode in the sense that their situation requires them to close themselves off. Or perhaps it means that they are armed, tooth and nail, in the sense that they're prepared for what's coming to them. Perhaps there's a storm brewing within the family or in the workplace and they feel it coming, so they're preparing themselves for it. In either case, they're doing so for protection. So you see what a simple situation, such as seeing an animal alongside the road, can leave you with. So if you ever feel the need to check in on a friend after seeing an animal on the roadside, feel into what that connection is. The message behind the animal can tell you a lot too. More to come, basically, in regards to that, down the road. Well, I hope that's enough information for you today, and I hope you take the time to observe those moments you have had, and see if any relate to the examples I've given today. If not, it may be another example of how we come up with this sneaking suspicion about someone or something. There are many different ways in which we may receive, that particular feeling, which doesn't just come out of nowhere. So I hope everyone has a beautiful day today. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I'll be working on more videos throughout the year and try to hit on many different topics. So I really thank you for your kindness and your support, and we wish you a beautiful morning, day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. So be happy and be kind to yourself. Enjoy some time with your loved ones, and do something fun, whether that's taking a stroll or sitting down with a nice cup of coffee or tea. Just enjoy it. Take care, everyone. Bye.